Blutbart.
Hello and welcome back to another behind the scenes toy photography video. This week I'll show you how to put together a diorama sized display case. I call this shot, We Have Treasure at Home. Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities is a Star Wars merchandise store both in-universe and in the real world. In-universe you can find it in Black Spire Outpost on the planet Batuu, and in real life you can visit it at Galaxy's Edge in America's Disney parks. I'm not American, so I haven't had the opportunity to go there yet, but thankfully the talented Landspeeder Luke offers these expertly modeled 3D print files on his Patreon, so I can at least recreate it in 1/12 scale here at home. Being a Black Series collector, I have quite the collection of little Star Wars knickknacks that lend themselves well to being featured in an antique shop. Most of these, like the Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet, the holocrons, and the droids came with various action figures, but I also padded out some of the shelves with crystal beads and 3D printed props. Once I had carefully filled up the shelves, I positioned the sales counter front and center. I filled up the display with various lightsaber hilts and weapons, and then covered them with glass panes that I made by cutting up the plastic from some toy packaging. With the scene set, I added my lighting. I used a warm ring light directly overhead to replicate the shop's chandelier, and I placed a couple LED panel lights behind the vents to make it look like sunlight was streaming in from the outside. Finally, I posed and placed my figures. If it wasn't clear from the title, I was attempting to portray Grogu nagging Din for some shiny rocks, while Din is shopping for a new weapon. Here's my starting image. As I often do, I began my edit by focus stacking a few separate exposures, ensuring my subjects were all in focus while giving the background a little bit of blur. Next, I used the healing brush tool and content aware fill to smooth out the cracks in my background and fill in the articulation joints on my toys. After adding adjustment layers for levels and curves, I used the dodge tool to lighten up the midtones on my subjects. I also added a color balance adjustment layer and a photo filter to warm up the color grading. Lastly, I realized that the contents of my treasure chest weren't very visible thanks to the shadows, so I filled it in with crystal beads and shot it again. I bumped my tripod a bit before the reshoot, so blending in the new layer was a little difficult, but I think I made it work. So once again, here's my starting image. And here's where I ended up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and make sure to check me out on Instagram. Thanks, and until next time.